us a good one now. All right. No mistakes. That's what we preach.
Well, I always felt that after you went through all that work, the only thing you had to show for it was the film. And you got to keep the film. I mean, that's the backbone. That's what it all goes back to. That's the heritage, the film. The old Bibles, the bones in the ground, they dig them up.
What you said?
Going at halfback. Cannonball sucking a little air.
Oh, they're killing us right there.
Time does fully move on, you know. Next year, somebody else will step in and do a job.
When NFL Films started, we concentrated only on the cinematography. But it wasn't long before we realized that we should be recording the sounds of the game as well. But recording audio back then was complex and it was cumbersome. The picture and the sound were separate elements. A cameraman captured the image on film like this, 16mm film, while the audio man recorded the sound. This is 16mm mag sound. Then these two separate elements were matched together back at NFL Films. But to sync up the sound with the picture, it was tedious, it was time-consuming. And out of all of our lost treasures, game sound was buried the deepest. But what we discovered is a revealing portrait of the NFL in the 1960s. I remember filming players on the sideline. You could see by the pictures that this was a game of passion and intensity. The sideline had a language all its own. Coaches and players spoke in these unique, strange, coded words. But without sound, these images had no soul. The footage begged for sound. So at first, we tried to invent it.
We thought we were setting trends when we went and shot Bart Starr in the parking lot at Lambeau Field and put a microphone on him and said, call a play that you used in the championship game.
34A.
Boy, people thought, where did you get that? Well, we got it in the parking lot 6 weeks after the game was played or something like that.
Recording the audio after the game seemed like a good idea, but we never had lip sync, and usually we would show a person's feet like this and roll his sound over the shot.
Hey, let's go! Horse down!
It was manufactured, it was phony. We knew it, I think the audience knew it, but it was just another experiment. Television coverage at the time was all top camera, nothing like this from the ground level. We wanted to show emotion. Football's a visceral sport. That's the way I wanted to portray it, like it had never been seen before. And to do it right, we needed to capture the real sounds of the game. Each year, we had to renew our contract with the league, so Dad felt that we had to continue to come up with new ways of showcasing pro football.
The league would call a meeting every year and ask for bids to shoot these games. And I realized that sooner or later, some big company, probably a motion picture company, would just knock me out of the box like that. I'd be finished.
In the summer of 1967, we went to Baltimore and shot our first training camp with double system sound.
All right, okay, Tom.
All right, move the feet, touch the tail, Glenn. Down. All right.
Now there's a good shot of us in action. The cameraman captured the picture, and the audio man holding that big microphone, he recorded the sound.
All right, that's it. Low and hard. All right, turn it on now, Jerry. When you get through, turn it on.
I've always had great memories of Steve Sable and Ed Sable always calling and asking to do something that's never been done before. And I think that was why NFL Films became so successful, because they were the first people that have ever done anything like that, filmed it up close or gotten these great sound bites that they got.
If you're looking the eyes into the belt buckle, right?
Don Shula, at the time, was the youngest coach in the league. He was a great teacher, a good communicator, and he could explain the fundamentals. Even though he's explaining them to the players, it was explained so clearly that a fan could understand it.
But if it happens this way, where he is under you, then he's got you beat. You're up in the air and he's got you licked. So if you look the head in there and his head goes down...
And Don was great. He let us go anywhere we wanted as long as we didn't get in the way.
All right, line it up. Same defense, Dennis.
I'm sure I told him at the time that it's okay to film it, but make sure you're backing out of the way.
Call it again.
we had experienced cameramen at this point, but we didn't have experienced soundmen. And I had seen a film called Monterey Pop, which was a rock concert that had been filmed out in California with Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, and the sound I thought was great. So we found out who was the sound man, and this sound man was an Englishman. And we decided that he was perfect for this job. He was used to working in sort of, in crowds and spontaneous situations. The only problem is that he had a Beatles haircut, he had this English accent, and when we went to camp, the players looked at him and they razzed him, they called him a fairy, get a haircut. So it was a little bit of a distraction.
Hey, baby, get that haircut or move. Come on, sweetheart, get out of the way.
The sound guy's got to have quicker feet than that sound guy had. You got to get them in shape. You got to get them ready to do their job. You could see that he got too close and he got run over.
Our guys eventually got the players' respect because they could see that we were competitors too. To do our job well, we had to be in shape. We had to move quickly to get out of the way.
Gold!
NFL Films has done a great job of educating the public as to what it takes to get ready to play the game.
Head up, tuck the tail, Danny. Down, all right.
Hut one, hut two.
Great, Jared. All right. Nice, Sam. You had that face right in his mustache. Good job.
Before NFL Films, the fans would go to the games to see the action, but they had no idea of what it took, both mentally and physically, to prepare for that game action.
All right, everybody up. We got initiated, running our plays, learning our assignments, and then ending up with some one-on-one. This is what the whole football game is about. The offensive blocker, the ball carrier, the defensive back. We started out, we had some hell of a licks hit. This is what we want to see. Great by the defense, great by the offense. We're going to progress and work hard. Let's go, babes. Everybody in.
Good start.
We learned a lot about how to shoot a sound camera that summer. And when the season started, we decided to shoot sound at one game each week in addition to our regular ground camera.
This is roll 4. Roll 4, Dave's camera. Orange Bowl playoff.
Roll 5, NFL championship.
Roll 7, Dave's camera.
Looking back, I think sound really captured the innocence of the era. Listening in on strategy sessions, you realized the game had a special language, a sort of a verbal shorthand.
No, zone, strong side.
Yeah.
Combination.
Here, Earl Morrill and Johnny Unitas let us eavesdrop as they make changes in the game plan.
Give you a split on flank now, too.
You can call the split. You can see the split, can't you?
Yeah, pretty well. Let me see it. Double wing. They done anything on double wing?
They want the split.
Well, you got the one coverage on the CR to Willie that one time.
Yeah, that was early.
That's this one right here.
Yeah, that was it.
Combination on the CR the second time.
Dick Butkus, he was a notorious cursor, but this conversation with an assistant coach is G-rated.
Dick was on the strong right, and they ran left, pitch left.
To their left?
To the weak side.
No, I know, but it's always running to their right is what I'm trying to tell you.
All right.
So it'll either be a 56 or 54, right? Okay.
What was he trying to run, his own pass?
Yeah, just a takeoff there.
Go, Mac.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
Come on, offense, take it to him.
All right, woo! Come on, baby. Big play, baby, come on!
There he is. Spot, go, baby. You dirty bastard, you.
He fumbled the ball.
Worst call I ever seen.
He fumbled the ball.
Every Sunday on the sideline, it was like a mini drama.
Referee.
Hey, 12, you saw.
A subplot to the action on the field. Every emotion was there.
He was going for the ball, referee.
The sound showed how players reacted to pressure, how tough guys played with pain.
No, it's a perfect.
Don't get that on print, please.
He getting me.
I remember one game that was cold, and we had the microphone. It's called in the business, I guess I can say this word, it's called a horse. And the players would see this big, long cylinder, and they thought it was a hand warmer. So they'd come up and they'd put their hands on it, and all the sound would always be all muffled because we had to tell the guys, say, look, this isn't a hand warmer, this is a microphone. And they'd sort of look at it, and they couldn't figure out what a microphone was doing on the sidelines.
Second half, roll 2. Cut it. Second half, jerk.
You got to hand it to the Sables. They were just so far ahead of their time. They knew, what they wanted to do, what the public wanted to see and hear in the game.
Head coaches didn't want us following them around with this big boom microphone.
Beautiful play.
How are they covering the backs of the bootleggers? Anybody know?
And we never could get the mic close enough to them without them walking away. And sooner or later, we'd get the look. And that's when we knew we'd worn out our welcome. Head coaches were very fidgety.
Offense, you're going to have big goals.
Most of them would pace back and forth the whole game, so it was impossible to get any kind of consistent, coherent sound with a boom microphone. To get any kind of usable sound, we thought we'd have to switch to a wireless microphone.
Rid of the ball quicker than you would on a late screen.
Joe Kuharich coached here in Philadelphia, and he and Dad were good friends, so he trusted us. He was animated, he was involved in all aspects of coaching, and besides, he was the only coach who said he would wear a microphone.
This penalty was a tough break. Interference kept him alive, boys. That's all. That's all.
A rag an hour late.
He was way off on that call. When did we take 2 timeouts? I don't know, Joe, but we've all got 3. Yes, sir. Yeah, Scarpelli took one on defense down there. Yeah, all right. Matty looked open to me down the middle, didn't he? Huh?
Wiring Kuharich made us realize how valuable this hidden mic could be. Without a camera around, everyone seemed much more comfortable and natural. The next step was to get that microphone into a huddle.
And roll out of there and take a look.
The first player that we mic'd was a middle linebacker for the Steelers, Bill Saul. I remember him, he sort of looked like Frankenstein. He had this huge head. But the reason that we mic'd him was the Pittsburgh Steelers were the only team that would give us permission.
When I got in the locker room and was changed into my uniform, the cameras were there, and they actually put the mic right in the middle of my shoulder pads.
We didn't want anyone to know that Saul was wired, so Jack Newman, our new audio guy, stuck the transmitter down his pants. That made for a few awkward moments in the locker room, but it worked. Saul's teammates never paid attention to what we were doing. In fact, they helped him put on his jersey, and they never suspected he was wired.
From then on, they just said, be yourself.
Hey, watch something big. Under Zeke, move to it.
If you want to, call a few names here and there, we'll beep it out, and just be yourself. So that's what we were.
Sucker! Oh! Hit the f***er. Too much. Come on, gang. Damn it. Don't open up that hole. Come on. That's it. Damn it, he's not that good. 8 yards. Let's go.
A couple of times Saul fell on the transmitter and knocked the sound out, but all that really did was save us from using a few more bleeps.
I was never known as Mr. Nice Guy.
Keep it up. Stick them mothers. Stick it down their ear.
I believe someone asked me one time, they said, Bill, what would happen if your mother was carrying the ball for the other team?
Come on, that's stupid.
And I said, if she had on a different colored uniform, I'd have to sack her.
Is that dumb?
And of course, she didn't talk to me for a year, but that's beside the point.
In those early years, we wanted to look at football from every angle. We wired a ref, Norm Schachter. Now look at the size of that mic there. Now this is the size of the mics that we use today. This thing's less than an ounce.
From whom?
From the ball player.
Very complimentary. They like the officials, and they have nothing but the highest words to say for them. And the feeling is mutual because we think they're awfully good. Isn't that right, Adrian?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is, Mr. Schachter.
Joe, if there's more than one flag, Joe is the responsible guy for the encroachment and false start.
For the first time ever, we were allowed into the referee's locker room before the game. And we discovered that just like the teams, they had a game plan too.
Keeps an eye on him when it's on the other side. Jack, you help me behind the line of scrimmage, whether it's a forward or a backward pass, also whether the guy goes past the line of scrimmage. You don't have a hell of a lot to do, so I think you can do those 2 little things for me.
Back in those days, they did the coin toss twice.
While it's up in the air. Hands. We'll do this again right before the game, and at the end of the half, one of you come out, you get the choice.
The first time was the real one. That was for the teams. The second time was for television, and that was a reenactment.
Is he picking it up? Do you know? Is he picking up the sound? First quarter was good.
Now, since Schachter didn't wear shoulder pads, the mic kept slipping, and the reception got all messed up.
I look as if I'm carrying a kid in me. I look as if I got a baby in front. Damn thing's slipping. Walk down, Frank, coming up.
Wiring an official gave a real insider's perspective to the game.
Easy, easy. All right, bottom men, stay there till we get up. All right, stay there. All right, real good. Somebody's chin strap. Who's chin strap? Coach said quarterback and center are call a timeouts. It's 61, right? Mm-hmm. 61 and 17. I'll be right behind the quarterback whenever you need a timeout. That's all I do is stay with you. Relax, Frank. Unsuccessful field goal. We got to give it to him. That's right. It's one of the regulations. Can't help it. He goes on. He's allowed to go after an unsuccessful field goal, and he wants it. That's the stipulation they got in the contract.
Mark Duncan, who was the head of the officials then, felt the less attention the refs got, the better. So he never allowed us to mic another official.
The important thing, as you know, in attacking defenses is the characteristic of the defense that you're playing against.
Looking for an angle that hadn't been done before, we tried to expand our coverage. We took our cameras into the meeting rooms and strategy sessions.
Up front, you control Eller, you control Marshall, keep them off your neck so you can throw the football.
Remember in the clutch situations, if you know where Rensel is...
What appealed to the coaches most of all is that they sensed that we were trying to educate the fans about how to understand their sport.
See, a weak side pitch out we don't have. A strong side pitch out could be a pretty good play. You got the sheets, man?
And coaches began to realize that they could trust us. And then we got behind doors that had always been closed.
You're going to staple these, right?
Vince became a very good booster of ours, and it was a great thing for me because I sort of idolized Lombardi. Of all the people in the league, he was my hero.
In November of 1967, Vince Lombardi agreed to be wired. And what a disaster. The mic kept slipping around his waist, and then it didn't work. We kept picking up dispatcher calls from a local cab company. It was a mess. But when we solved the problem, the sound we got provided a fascinating look at the game's greatest coach.
Let's go now. A little life out here. Let's have a little life out here. We look like we're half dead out here. Let's move a little bit. Let's move a little bit now. Let's go. Let's get ourselves ready here.
The thing I remember about Lombardi was his voice. You know, I think all great leaders have distinctive voices.
Come on, Denny! Oh, damn, man, if he'd only run! Hey, boy, tell him that first play is real good. They just missed a double team.
See the game he's playing? Hey, see the game he's playing? He's going to wait for us to make a mistake, see? He's not going to do anything. He's going to wait for us to make a mistake, see? We can't afford to wait for it.
Come on here. What is going on out there? We got no rush on him at all, Phil. None whatsoever. Standing back there. What are you doing out there? Come on, let's get a little rush out there. Come on out there. Put your shoulders in there. Let's get a little pass rush out there. For the love of Pete. What's going on out there? They're crying out loud.
Why, oh boy. Well, we missed tackles. Why do we miss?
Put your shoulders in that tackle. They got to hold him now, boys. Come on, tighten up out there. Green, don't let him get out of there.
The Packers got beat that day, and Lombardi didn't want to use any of this sound in his highlight film, so we buried it. None has been heard until now. Back then, it seemed that the coaches were much harsher critics than they are today, and the toughest of the tough was Norm Van Brocklin.
Huh? Oh, don't think. Ball react. Don't think. And you got to go play that ball. Got it? When that ball's in the air, go get it. We should have 14 points now. We got a lousy 3. Can't around with this and Clyde in the backfield. Got to understand? Or we got our good stuff now. Let's work our bingos, our 85s. Next time you throw 85, go the other way with it, see?
Van Brocklin hated officials. And I remember being in a press room once, and Van Brocklin was asked to donate $10 to help bury a deceased and penniless official. And the Dutchman reached into his back pocket. He pulled out his wallet. He opened it up. He pulled out a bill, and he said, "Here's $20. Bury 2 of them."
Hey, I maintain contact.
Get in the huddle.
That's right.
Where'd that they dig you up from?
That's another bad one.
Oh, work the f***ing game, Jeffy. Work it while you got a job. That's right.
I told you to stay off the field, didn't I?
Oh, Jeffy, you damn Pollock. Red, what'd be a real good running play now to stick her up there, Keister? See, I want to get one more play in before the 2-minute warning,
Yeah.
see? What'd be a real good play to stick up their ass, Red?
Well, the Dutchman was volatile, he was profane, he was insensitive, he could be intimidating, but I think that all of his flaws were balanced by the fact that he really loved the game and he truly cared about players who felt the same way that he did.
Well, look, they don't have any more timeouts left, see?
right.
All you got to do is lay on the ground. Just snap from center and lay down.
Punch it in there, okay.
And don't call another play until we get 5 yards for too much timeout, see?
And get in the huddle, huh?
Until we get too much time.
Okay.
Then go back in the huddle and fall down on it again.
Okay.
All right, way to snap their ass. Told you to walk in.
Successful head coaches then really knew how to manipulate and motivate their troops.
There's nothing like dealing with a group of men. All of you have that same, got that same goal.
Mike, I want to see you work. Damn it, work.
You know, you've worked all the way through, every day of the week, every night, and you think it, and maybe people around you don't even know how much you're thinking it.
All right, that's all right. Don't get excited, bro. He just tried it. Willie lost his angle, that's all. Hey, Jim, did you get that kickoff team straightened down? Hell, it looked like we were all on the outside. What the hell happened there?
They all just left their lane.
All right, did you talk to them? Have we got them all squared away?
I didn't care.
Damn, let's make sure of that now.
I think I learned some values and principles of what is the most important thing. That's the human element.
Jim, get Chickalella the off these teams. We got to suck our guts up and go. Trimble, damn it, give me that list. Get Crutcher off, and you put an Avery in who's got more drive and power in there.
Has anything got more variables than a human element? That's the greatest challenge of all.
When we wired Allie Sherman, it was Fran Tarkenton's first year with the Giants. And here you could see 2 strong-willed guys, both used to getting their own way.
Did he have to roll out? Okay. Fran, you can't be rolling out on these guys. They'll lose that angle for you. You all right?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, all right,
I'm fine. I mean, wait a minute. Al, here's what you got to understand. Everything's going great. They make a nice play.
Okay, no.
You know?
But that's twice now. A little
Twice
roll on a sweep 27. Remember when then you roll on a sweep 27 pass? Okay. Oh, yeah, forget it. Let's go, partner. Okay. You might be able to run a give on Peter.
Listening in on these conversations between Allie and Fran made us think about the next step, putting a microphone on a quarterback. Don Meredith was the most charismatic quarterback of the day. When we put a wireless microphone on Don, we heard a whole new language. And it wasn't just football terminology.
Okie dokie. That gummit! That gummit!
Have a hell of a night, baby.
Oh! That gummit! Oh!
This is the way Don actually talks.
That is unreal. That's the same dadgum thing they caught down here 2 years ago. Same dadgum play. Don, could you cut this thing in half? I want to get a wet towel. They got so much of that stickum stuff on that ball, it's unbelievable.
He didn't have to clean up his language because he was mic'd. He had his own unique vocabulary.
So it's going to be cold.
I can still wipe it off. That stickum stuff is bad.
Where are you going to stick it?
Right in my yin-yang.
Damn ball's going to freeze.
All right, let's see what they do on the weak side. This thing's probably going to break outside, Craig. Go green, right, run cross 45, O lead on 2. Ready?
Meredith was also the ultimate competitor, although the competition got the best of him on this night.
I tell you what, let's just group together. Everything's going all right. We're just making some mistakes, and those things, we'll get them over with. We're going to whip them. We're going to whip them.
The Cowboys didn't do the whipping. They got whipped by the Packers. And Dandy Don called it like it was.
Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. That's a bad throw, Curly.
Still wide open.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Get over there! Get over there!
Quarterbacks were the best players to Mike. They were always at the center of the action, and they talked the most.
171! Hot! Hot!
New Orleans quarterback Billy Kilmer took a season's worth of punishment during his wiring. We put that mic on Billy, and he looked like Quasimodo. He had this big hump in his back. And it was okay with Billy because he was one of those players who never cared how he looked. His socks always sagged, his shirt hung out, his chin strap was unsnapped.
I can't do nothing right.
Billy Kilmer's wiring was a real catastrophe. The one thing we learned from that wiring was that the equipment could take a beating because Billy got the crap knocked out of him.
You probably were open. Ah,
Throw the X, but you still got to see the open.
Gosh, darn it!
Son of
I can't believe it. What am I doing?
This was originally shot for the Saints highlight film, but when their public relations director saw it, he said, "This isn't what we want. Let's not use it." That's why it's a lost treasure. Nothing was held back. All of the raw emotion came right out on the film.
There's 80 guys around a damn ball. I just didn't. God damn, what's wrong with me? I hit you right on the.
Hey,
why do I lead you like that? Jeez, John, you see a combination? Jump in there. And I just, when I, damn it!
Come on, baby, let's go.
Well, we had done coaches and quarterbacks. The next step was to go into the belly of the beast, go into the pit in the no man's land. And we picked Dick Shafrath, number 77 of the Cleveland Browns. But when we actually mic'd him, it was a little bit of a disappointment because all you heard was a bunch of huffing and puffing.
Come on, Lion, let's work together, partner. Let's get one in there.
That was probably the best stuff that we got.
There you go, Mel. Let us play long enough, we'll catch him.
Hold me again, lover. Hold me again.
With our sound equipment now working and reliable, we were not only seeing new things, but we were hearing them as well.
You know, folks, this is the first game for the New Orleans Saints. These boys playing their first game in these uniforms. I think they deserve another hand other than the one you gave them. Let's welcome them into the National Football League.
Even in their very first preseason game, their first game in the team's history, things didn't go smoothly for the Saints.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Tom Fears was one of those head coaches who, like many former great players, still feel that they could be out on the field playing. He was still wearing cleats, and you got the sense any minute he was just going to run out on the field and, get down in the stance and run a post pattern.
Come on, let's go. Big down now. Big down. Pass. Draw. Come on, let's go. Get that ball
In those
back.
days, the expansion teams would usually be able to get one or two great big stars who were at the tail end of their career. Jim Taylor had played college football in New Orleans, so it seemed natural for him to go back and finish his career there. And I believe Paul Hornung lived in New Orleans at the time.
All right, he's running it this time. What's keeping it? Look at the middle linebacker, Tell George. Look at 41.
All right, let's go, defense. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on, let's go, baby. Come on.
The Saints lost this first game, and it would be 20 years before they had a winning season. While the Saints always seemed to find a way to lose, the Green Bay Packers always found a way to win.
Green Bay culminated what probably was almost a dream.
All right, all for one, one for all, all for the Packers. Let's go.
I have seen what the athletic pinnacle can be as a champion.
All right, let's go to work.
We wired Willie Davis for his last game, and Willie was nicknamed Dr. Feelgood by his teammates. And he was the guy that loved everything about the game of football. We thought that it would be a great piece to show a player that was so involved for so long. What would it be like to be with this player and to hear this player in his final game as a pro?
All right, that's what it hit now. That's what it hit. I remember my first couple of years retired from football. I was making, believe it or not, more money than I'd ever made in my life. But I said, there's one empty part of this. Where is the camaraderie and where is the relationship with the guys?
Gonna miss you, Doctor. I'm gonna miss you.
You got to carve your own niche now. I just hope that, and I think you got enough people here to meet the challenge.
It gave you a feeling about what the game meant to these players and how much of their life and time had been invested into this profession.
Time does fully move on, Next year, somebody else will step in, do a job, It's that kind of game, I guess,
Hey, Willie, where you and I have been lucky. We played all those years, and we've never really had anybody to come in and run us out of a job. You know that? Yeah. A lot of guys that have been run out of a job before their time is over, and I'm really thankful for that. I'll tell you that much right now.
In the 1960s, players would stay together on the same team for, a decade. So when you had a team like the Packers, this was truly, it sounds like a cliche, but this was really a family.
Number 87, Willie Davis, defensive captain of the Packers, playing his final professional football game. Because of his unending quest for knowledge and excellence, Willie Davis has set an example that all mankind would be well to copy. On behalf of all Packerland, Willie, goodbye and Godspeed. And on behalf of the quarterbacks from the other teams in the league, good riddance. Willie Davis.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
When I was walking off that field, one of the things I said, gee, I'll never be out here again. It was surely a day that I'll never forget, because as I looked in the stands and at that crowd, I said, gee, I will be a Green Bay Packer until the day they roll me away.
When we mic'd the player back in the 60s, it was just used for their highlight film. And that was never on television. We didn't have VCRs and video cassettes. A lot of the players in the off-season would go home, so they wouldn't be around the team city to see the highlight film. So consequently, we would go to all this work, put a mic on a player, and most of the time, they never saw the finished product. So we thought it would be interesting to find some of these players and show them these lost treasures, 30 years after we first filmed them. It was like going back in time.
Call us a good one now. All right. No mistakes. That's what we preach. No mistakes.
I've never seen this before.
Let's get on our ass right now, right quick. Hey, don't give up, right? Hey, just run it down our throat.
I'm trying to remember, yeah.
You're his man. You're Mel's man. You're saying he can't get you, huh? Huh?
No. They do run together.
So you're that streak, and I'll call the other guy.
It's a kick. I think the only film that's available of the 49ers is of NFL film, because they burned all of the film that we had. When Joe Thomas came, when DeBartolo bought it, and it's been an untold story, but it's a joke. Burned everything we had. Said the future is now. Yeah, he did it good. Ready to go? Let's go. All right. Let's do our thing now. Let's do our thing. All right, baby. Come on now. Gotta have this one. It's gotta be a great one. It's gotta be a great one. A lot of pride in it now. Come on, Moose.
It's the first time I've had an opportunity to see myself from this angle, from this perspective.
When people think of Jim Marshall, I think, oh, there's the buffoon that ran the wrong way. But there was so much more to Jim Marshall than that. First of all, he's the ultimate Iron Man in pro football. He's the Lou Gehrig of the NFL. The guy played in 282 consecutive games. Plus, he holds the NFL record for most opponents' fumbles recovered. You could see that this guy was in unbelievable physical condition. He was relentless. Every play, he was grunting, growling.
Good coverage. You got him. You got him.
You had to stay in great shape. If you look at my size and the size of the people I was playing over. These are guys who were weighing 260, 270, some up to 300 pounds. I was weighing about 220 to 235. So, I mean, we used to say that I weighed 240. I don't think we fooled many people. So you had to be very quick and highly maneuverable.
No player in the history of the game ever played harder, longer than Jim Marshall.
Yeah. Beautiful thing, baby.
John Brodie was, in the true sense of the word, field general. And what intrigued John Brodie about football was the mental challenge. And he was a problem solver. He loved to get on the sidelines and get the team together and explain what they were going to do.
See, we didn't have a whole bunch of people coordinating an offense.
Hey, you guys, offense!
Am I going back in?
Hey, offense, I think so. I don't know if he is or not. Who's going in?
There weren't enough coaches on the staff, and there wasn't near the extreme of organization.
Hey, O's, come on over. Forrest, you got a second? It's all right. Come on up here, fellas. You all right? All right, look. If we call a 60 fullback trail either way, it would go into the weak side. And if they blitz halfback, just pass him up. I'll dump it to the fullback. And, baby, we got a piece of cake. At least we can get him out of it.
And whether it was for better or worse, I happen to think that the players on the field felt a lot more responsible for what they said they could do.
We're bypassing one on the blitz. We know that. That's my problem.
And it seemed to work.
The only instructions that John Brodie got from his coach was, damn it, get it right.
Hey, whenever you get in trouble, you and you're scrambling, look, don't run the damn thing.
Danny Abramowitz was symbolic of a certain type of receiver that you saw in the 1960s.
Hey, 71s too are good, Bill. Threes into the short side like that.
They were the guys at every play. Give me the ball. I'm open. Throw me the ball. You know, they drive a quarterback crazy.
Either ones or threes, because he's favoring like inside. You see how I lined up?
The Saints once cut Abramowitz from the team. He refused to leave, and he hung around until they gave him a second chance.
Back in those days, as a receiver, they could hit you all over the field, as long as the ball wasn't in the air.
See, I had him beat, and Ramsey gives me a little elbow as I went by. Way to go, rookie. Come on now, Bradley. Come on. Okay. I know.
Which is fine, and we could do it back. We can go back in and crack back high or low. I took pride as much in my blocking as catching.
He tripped me. Damn, I should have had that son of a...
Oh, Lord.
It's my fault. That roll out. Let that mother lock down on me again. What did I say there?
395! Damn it.
They said there was so much swearing. They had to cut it out. And the huddle gets a little active on occasion.
Damn tools.
Yeah, I hate that. I'm ashamed of that.
I don't feel I miss that if I had it. Some of the language. That's really funny.
Would I like to go back like in a time capsule for a short period of time? Yeah, that would be great. If I could not get hit like that.
Damn, let's score now.
When you get out of the game, a lot of guys try to go out there and find it. And you'll never have a high like this. None of us are bigger than a game. It's the game and the camaraderie of whether you're a player to player or coach to player, that type of thing.
Good grab, Al. Good grab. Way to go, Al.
The ups and downs are not what's important. I learned that it's how you handle them.
They're coming, just remember.
It's a wonderful stage from which to view life. You're willing to take all the bumps and all the risks because they're really unimportant.
Ken, did you ever get the ball? Huh? I thought I had it then, and I heard you. I thought you screaming.
And I tried to cut back at the same time. And really, I walked away from it with no regrets, really. I mean, it was wonderful. I just wished I had the body to play it about 12, 15 more years. I'd have been doing it.
You get Meredith and me once day, will you? All right. Okay. This series, you go on the football field and you play, and it's truly a contest. that there can only be one victor. This paralleled life, or what I thought life should be.
Come on, baby, let it all hang out now. Moose? Come on, let it all hang out now, baby. Come on, Gary. Come on now. This is it.
There's an honesty there that's undeniable.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, gentlemen. Good play.
I just think it's the greatest sport in the world. I wished I could play forever.
Let me have your chin strap. Hey, let me have your chin strap.
Can't do it right now, son. Huh? Can't do it right now.
I just absolutely love the game.
There's not another company or organization in the world, aside from the U.S. government maybe, that has a backlog or a library that we have. Certainly no other sport.
To all of us who ever played or filmed football, it's always been a game of passion. And by the end of the 1960s, we had learned how to capture that emotion, that special esprit de corps that a football team has with sound.
They always come up with a big play, always.
That's all it was. It was just a bad break for the Cowboys. It was a good break for us. It was no great play or anything. It just rolled in my hands. It was the easiest touchdown I ever had in my life.
Oh, and Dr. Pepper, man. Dr. Pepper. I can be choosy. Oh, you bet your pants on your champion. What's the matter, Dad? Way to go, Dad. I don't care. You're going to be nervous.
I think this is the biggest game and the best game I've ever watched or played at. I really do. We've had a lot of big ones, but none bigger than this. And I bet the fans, I don't know anybody that was ready to go home till it was over. You?
Well, when I think back, I realize what a smart guy I was. It was luck, really, because I just figured you had to save it. But now, when I look back and see what you're doing with all those films, great idea, Ed Sable.